You pack your bags for Ireland expecting high tuition and expensive rent. But the real threat is the silent, daily erosion of your survival cash. Whether it is a lump sum remittance from your parents or wages from your part-time job, leaving that money sitting in a standard Irish current account guarantees you will lose purchasing power to inflation. Dublin living expenses are punishing. Covering €1,000 rent, groceries, and transit requires maintaining a significant cash safety net that you can actually rely on. Right now, Irish banks are taking advantage of that necessity. They use your idle student cash to fund their own operations for free, while returning exactly 0% interest on your standard accounts. Accepting a 0% return means your emergency fund shrinks in real value every single week. Moving your money into structured savings is a basic survival tactic to protect what you have. You need an account that pays interest to outpace inflation, but you also need to keep that cash accessible for sudden medical bills or an unexpected flight home. This chart illustrates the major obstacle to doing that in Ireland. Take a look at your annual interest earned. The Irish government takes a 33% slice right off the top. This is the Deposit Interest Retention Tax, or DIRT. Banks automatically deduct that tax at the source. You only keep this remaining 67%. This forces you into a complex financial tug-of-war. You have to constantly balance how much interest an account yields, how quickly you can withdraw your money, and how heavily you are being taxed. Chasing the highest advertised interest rate will mislead you. Your only real objective is securing the highest net return after the government takes its cut. Let's start by looking at the default options. Traditional high street institutions like AIB, Permanent TSB, and Bank of Ireland. Most students open a current account with one of these banks and park their entire emergency fund right next to their daily spending money. This setup gives you absolute instant access to your funds without any friction. The trade-off is a completely stagnant balance. Your money earns zero yield, and without any psychological barrier in place, it is incredibly easy to accidentally spend your rent reserve on a Friday night out. Prioritizing convenience over structure leaves your cash entirely exposed to macroeconomic inflation and your own poor impulse control. Digital neobanks operating across the EU, like Bunq, Revolut, and Trade Republic, offer a tempting alternative. They actively advertise yields ranging from 1.5 to 4%. These platforms are excellent for quick digital setups. They keep your cash highly liquid and offer automated roundup features that save your spare change without you having to think about it. This chart reveals the reality. A neobank might advertise a 2% return, but after the 33% DIRT deduction, your net return drops to 1.34%. Pay a €167 subscription fee for premium rates, and your return is completely wiped out. If you hold a typical student balance of around €2,000, paying for a premium tier actively drains your account. The fees cost more than the interest pays out. Staying on a free tier, like the one offered by Trade Republic, is a much safer way to earn a positive yield without dragging down your balance with monthly fees. Neobanks are highly effective for managing small, easily accessible cash buffers. But if you mismanage the subscription tiers, they become an expensive place to hold your long-term savings. That brings us to a uniquely Irish alternative, An Post State Savings. The returns generated in these accounts are legally exempt from the 33% DIRT tax. You keep every cent of interest you earn. For international students concerned about safety, these funds are backed directly by the Irish sovereign credit. It is the most secure savings vehicle available in the country. To get that tax-free yield, you have to use a notice account, requiring anywhere from 7 to 30 days notice before a withdrawal. That time delay puts a deliberate barrier between you and your money. It ensures you only tap into your core reserves for planned bills or genuine emergencies. Adding friction to your largest cash reserve protects your capital from casual spending. It works to your advantage. This flowchart maps out the optimal structural separation. Do not put all your cash into one account. Use the 3-tier vault strategy. Tier 1 is your overnight buffer. Keep €500 in an instant access digital neobank for immediate emergencies, like a prescription or a broken lock. Tier 2 is your core safety net. Put €1,500 to €2,500 in an An Post notice account. It stays completely shielded from the dirt tax, but requires a week's notice to access. Tier 3 is a regular saver at a traditional bank. You set up a monthly automated transfer from your current account, and once it hits its cap, the surplus spills over to reinforce Tier 2. If you are working in Ireland on the Stamp 2 visa, your main priority is setting up Tier 3. It forces disciplined, automatic savings from your part-time wages every month. If you arrived with a large lump sum remittance, your priority is locking the bulk of it directly into Tier 2 immediately. This prevents your tuition and rent money from eroding during the semester. Splitting your cash across these 3 tiers perfectly balances your need for emergency access, tax-shielded growth, and impulse control. If you use a digital neobank or a traditional regular saver, the banks will still automatically deduct dirt from your interest. But if your total Irish income falls below the personal tax credit threshold, which applies to most students, you are legally entitled to get that 33% refunded directly back to your bank account. To claim it, you must apply for a Personal Public Service Number, a PPSN, as soon as you arrive. That number allows you to register on the Revenue My Account portal. Spend 20 minutes at the end of the year filing a simple tax return. Skipping this step means permanently forfeiting money the government owes you. Head over to MyFlightOffers.com to read our step-by-step written guides. We cover exactly how to open these accounts and process your dirt reclaim form. Structuring your savings gives you the financial security to handle emergencies without panic, leaving you free to easily book your next flight home.